This is the Seiko Marinemaster SBDX017, also known as the Marinemaster 300 or the MM300. This is the second iteration of this Marinemaster, the first being the SBDX001. This MM300 is in a way a tribute to one of Seiko's more famous dive watches, the 6159. They share a similar case shape and size and structure, and I'll talk about the structure in a moment. Inside, this is the Seiko 8L35 movement, beating at 28,800 per hour. This is the same movement as the Grand Seiko 9S, but this is undecorated and unregulated. I was hesitant about this watch before buying it because its diameter is 44 millimeters, its length, lug tip to lug tip, is 50, and its thickness is 15 millimeters, which is pretty large. It also weighs over 200 grams. Yet on my 7-inch wrist, I find it really comfortable. And once again, Seiko's found a way to make large divers wearable. That's mostly due to the case shape, which is faceted to not only wear smaller, but look smaller. And I think that case is gorgeous. There's a nice mix of polish and brush sections that remind me of Grand Seiko's, which cost twice the price of the Marinemaster. And the way this watch is built is something I find very interesting. If you look, you'll see there's no case back, which is a point of weakness in many divers. And instead, this is just a solid case. They refer to it as a monoblock case. The case and bracelet are steel, and they have Seiko's scratch-resistant DiaShield coating, which has worked well for me and helps keep that mirror finish nice and shiny. I bought this watch pre-owned, and it still looks like new. I think the polish services move this from a tool watch into a luxury item, but let's face it, that's what this is anyway. The bracelet is super comfortable with these kind of long links, and the clasp is not made of steel but is titanium rather, which makes it a bit lighter and has this great feature, which is this ratcheting clasp. So you pull back on this lever and it allows you to extend the clasp as much as you need. And ideally this is to fit over a wetsuit, but I use it all the time when my wrist expands just a few millimeters. I think this is probably expands in 2 millimeter increments, so you can put it on and you can adjust it while it's on your wrist. Like, pop this up, push it forward, and these links just pop out, and then maybe keep it open like that for a few hours. Of course, this being a Seiko diver, the lume is pretty amazing. Of all my watches, this Marinemaster has the brightest lume. It's not the longest lasting, that probably goes to my Rolex GMT, but the brightest for sure. I also find the Marinemaster very versatile when it comes to straps. This is it on a gray NATO, which is very comfortable and I think looks pretty good. I've also tried it on a canvas strap, like this one I found on Amazon for $20, and on leather I think it looks really good. And here it is next to the Seiko Turtle SRP 777, and it actually looks smaller even though the dimensions are larger. And that's partly because it has a smaller dial, but also because the way the case sides kind of flare down and out. The Marinemaster also takes 20 millimeter straps as opposed to the Turtle, which uses 22 millimeter straps. And by the way, the Turtle is on a Uncle Seiko Beads of Rice bracelet, which I think looks perfect with it, gives a perfect vintage look. But anyway, back to the Marinemaster. What originally drew me to the Marinemaster was how it looked, and this depth of the dial. When you have 15 millimeters of case height to play with, you can get this wonderful depth, and the crystal is slightly domed and AR coated, which has this cool effect, this bluing double reflection effect. And on top of that, the bezel insert is slightly glossy, which I really like, which is not, as some people have thought, ceramic, but is aluminum with some sort of lacquer over top to make it shiny. And that's it. That's a quick look of the SBDX017 Seiko Marinemaster, one of my favorite dive watches, and one I'm really happy to own.